All right, this is episode 8 on the Facebook 5.3. This will be the final episode on this engine series. We're going to just go through the heads, touch up the valve job. We're going to put a fresh set of springs on, and then we're going to get them on the engine. Like I said in the end of episode 7, we filmed all this at one time, but it was just too much for one video, so we broke it up into 2 more episodes. So we'll get into it and hang around, and we'll wrap this thing up. I popped a couple out just doing some inspecting on the original, so we're gonna go ahead and just disassemble both heads, and then we're gonna touch up this valve job, and I'll show you what's going on there, and we're gonna put on a fresh set of springs. So this is one that we lapped a little bit just to see, and you can see how thin the sealing face is. And I ain't checked it, but I'm suspecting that the angles are different. The angle on the valve is not the same angle on the seat, and there is some old wives' tales, like all things on the internet, that some people say, like, do a whatever, I don't know, a 45 on the seat and a 44 on the valve, or a 44 and a half. All that's just ignorant nonsense. Both angles need to be the same. We want to be able to carry all the load. If the angles are different, every time you make one angle smaller or greater than the other, you are reducing the amount of contact area and sealing surface, and the seat is how the valve is. So the seat is pulling the heat out of the valve and dispersing it into the cylinder head. So we want as much surface area as possible to be able to move that heat out. Yeah, so can you come in here and see? So I had lapped the intakes a little bit, and you can see that, it rubbed it a little bit all the way across, but you can see up high, it's really touching up high. So, that's telling me that the 2 angles are different. So, but we're going to check all of that. Just checking the guides and make sure we ain't got no loose guides. Nah, they all feel good. So none of the valves have any indication that anybody actually checked the sealing surface to make sure it was in the right location, or what the pattern looked like, or any of that. So so I'm gonna get set up here, and we'll touch up all these seats, and then we're gonna regrind the valves just to make sure. So all right, so I touched up the valve job on a couple of holes, just getting all the stuff sorted out. So yeah, so this is the one that we just touched with some lapping compound to see what it looked like originally, and I mean, it's good and centered, but the sealing band is not very wide. So we redone the valve job and corrected the angles. And if you can see, we'll just put them side by side. Really get down there close.
It'll be blurry.
Oh, well, hopefully you can see that. So you can see on this one, the ceiling band is twice as wide. And then if you look at the seat itself, you can see that we got full contact on the seat, and it's a nice wide ceiling area. So, and on the exhaust side, it's really critical because obviously the exhaust side is just so much hotter than the intake side. So we are going to go ahead and just touch up both of these heads on the seats and make sure all that's happy. We're going to run them through the washer, and then we'll reassemble with some new springs. All right. You see on here. You see on this one. It didn't touch up there, so that's how much I ran on that seat is. All right, I got it. All right, so we got all the seats touched up, all the valves touched up, and I run them through the washer. So we're gonna start getting them back together. And these are our 560 lift beehive springs. We'll put a link in the description. They're on the website, but they use all stock components, stock retainers, stock lock, stock seal. And I don't remember exactly, but I think they're under $80, I think, and they're made in the USA. So this is a GM gasket. It's for the 5.7 LS1 or a 5.3 with 243 heads. So the first round is 22 foot-pounds. And then the first angle is 90 on all the bolts. All right, and then the second rotation is 50 degrees. And you can see how many, show them that. So it'll tell you how many foot-pounds of torque it took to get there. So it's, I mean, this is 83 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot on that small bolt. So the little 10 millimeters, they go to 22 foot-pounds, all these. So we'll get all the push rods in. I use this extreme pressure lube on the tips. These are a new rocker arm. We sell them, and a bunch of people sell them, but it already comes with a bearing style trunnion upgrade in it. I wouldn't run them on anything that was serious, but maybe they all right for stock rebuild stuff. I don't know. I've used a few sets of them and some stock rebuild stuff, and they've done good. But I've seen a bunch of them break in engines with some spring pressure. So obviously the rocker itself is not nearly as good as a GM unit. It's hard to beat a GM rocker with our bronze trunnion upgrade in it. They just, man, they pretty much bulletproof. I mean, there's better stuff, obviously, but for the money, it's pretty good stuff. And I'm not gonna do it on this video, but I'll do another separate video on checking lifter preload, push rod length, and all that jazz. finally. So that one's done. Don't forget that we're going to give away a cam kit when we hit 25,000 subscribers, and we may do another, somewhere between now and then, we may do another t-shirt and hoodie giveaway maybe. I'll dream about that a minute. Throw in some stickers too maybe. But when they, I think my little brother is going to put this thing in. When this thing gets in, I'll try to get you a little video of it running. But that is, I mean, that's a bone stock rebuild, just like, you know, I mean, that's just how we do it. Some minor steps, obviously I didn't film on this because we've already got those procedures in other videos, and this one was getting kind of long anyway, so. All right, we're gonna wrap it up right there. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little series, and we're gonna get back on this LS9 next, so be on the lookout for some of those videos coming. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.